Welcome back to a new session and a new day. Now we are continuing the part of human health and disease. Now in this session we are going to continue the next disease. Now in the previous session we came across common cold, pneumonia, typhoid. These are the diseases which are caused mainly by the virus as well as a bacteria. We call them as viral disease as well as bacterial disease. Now we are going to continue with other sorts of diseases also. Then almost we call a term named as a pathogen. Pathogen is a disease causing agents. They are called as pathogens. And there might be various types of pathogens. Bacteria is a pathogen, virus is a pathogen, fungus is a pathogen, helminthic worms are pathogens that causes disease in our body, and hence we use a term called as pathogens. Now let us start with the next disease which is called as malaria. So let us look at the part of the malarial disease. Now malaria, let us go to the cause first. How it is caused? It is mainly caused by a protozoan parasite. The cause is it is caused by protozoan parasite. So it belongs to protozoa. It is a protozoan parasite and its name is Plasmodium. So it belongs to the species Plasmodium. There are different strains, varieties of Plasmodium, as we have Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium malariae, Plasmodium ovale and Plasmodium falciparum. These are the different species of Plasmodium, a protozoan parasite. So what we have is, in the Plasmodium species, we have Plasmodium vivax, then Plasmodium malariae, then we have Plasmodium ovale, and then Plasmodium falciparum. All these are different species of Plasmodium. Out of all these Plasmodium, one of the Plasmodium species which is quite dangerous and that is fatal. Fatal means that causes death in the humans is of Plasmodium falciparum. So Plasmodium falciparum is fatal. Fatal means that causes death. It causes death soon due to brain fever. So this is regarding one of the exclusive character of the Plasmodium species, where one species is a little bit more dangerous. Plasmodium falciparum is little bit more dangerous if it is not treated immediately. So it kills a person. So that's why it's quite harmful. Rest of the Plasmodium species, they are less harmful while compared to that of the falciparum. Like Plasmodium vivax is there, malaria is there, Plasmodium ovale, they are less harmful. Now here only we can tell it is more harmful, it is less harmful. More harmful is falciparum, less one is rest of the three. It doesn't mean that it do not harm our body. Definitely the parasites or any kind of diseases that we get, they will harm our body. Only the thing is, it matters whether it is going to damage more or less. Even though if it damages more or less, we have to take the precautionary measures so that we should not get the disease. Okay. Now this is regarding the various strains. Then how it is transmitted, mode of transmission. Mode of transmission. It is mainly transmitted through the mosquito, and the name of the mosquito is what? It is transmitted through through female Anopheles mosquito. Female Anopheles mosquito. If the Anopheles mosquito is infected with the Plasmodium species, then ultimately it is transmitted through this female Anopheles mosquito. Okay. Then suppose if the female Anopheles mosquito bites the human, it injects an infective stage in the humans, and that stage we call it as a sporozoite. Plasmodium, it is having one infective stage where we call it as sporozoite, that is quite harmful for the humans. Then what are the symptoms? Let's look at the symptoms, then we'll see the life cycle of Plasmodium. And the diagrammatic representation of the life cycle of this Plasmodium is given in your NCERT. You can just look over that diagram also while discussing the life cycle. Okay. Now here symptoms. When the mosquito bites the humans, we can easily see the symptoms like high fever, with chills. There will be high fever with chills. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟಿಗೆ ಜ್ವರ ಬರ್ತದ, ಆ ನಂತರದಲ್ಲಿ ಚಳಿ ಜ್ವರ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಚಿಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ the symptom of this, initially it will be fever. Any disease that comes to our body, mainly our body shows that symptom because the homeostasis of the body is altered. When the homeostasis of the body is altered, then ultimately our body shows a little bit variations, and it is exhibited by the symptoms. Based on the symptoms, we will come to know that we are infected or affected with certain sorts of disease based on the symptoms also. Okay, so symptoms, it includes high fever with chills. So chali jwara bardatili. Then apart from that, apart from high fever with chills, we have other symptoms also. So other symptoms, it includes vomiting, nausea, laziness. So these are the other symptoms that we can easily observe. So high fever with chills, then along with that vomiting sensation might be there, nausea, tale tirigidanga agudu, sut bandanga agudu, laziness. So almost whichever disease we get laziness, activeness anta annuvanthadu irangilla. So that's why these are the major symptoms. Okay, then what is the preventive measure? The preventive measure is we have to avoid the biting up of female Anopheles mosquito. So how to avoid it? One thing is either use the mosquito nets, mosquito coils, keep your surroundings clean, then do not allow stagnation of water in front of your house or nearby to your house. So that's why that precautionary measure has to be taken. And if you are keeping the rooms clean, your surroundings clean, then ultimately there is no growth of these mosquitoes, because mosquitoes lay eggs in the water. As a result, if the number of mosquitoes are increasing, that means that they are going to spread the disease in large number. So that's why what we have to do is, as far as possible, stop the growth of the mosquitoes. Use of DDT, earlier DDT was used extensively, now DDT has been banned because it is a non-biodegradable substances. Okay, so this is regarding the part of the preventive measure. Preventive measure, the mode of transmission will be the preventive measure. Then how it should be cured? It is mainly cured by antibiotics. Okay, so tetracycline, erythromycin, kanamycin, then neomycin. So different types of antibiotics are there through which the malaria can be killed. We call those as anti-malarial drugs, through which we can prevent this parasite. Now with this we have the life cycle of Plasmodium vivax. So how is the life cycle? We will see it. So let's go to the title called as a life cycle. of a Plasmodium. The life cycle of the Plasmodium species, it includes two hosts. First one is a man and second one is a mosquito. So it requires two hosts, man and a mosquito. Now let's see what happens in man. What happens in man? Now in man, when the mosquito comes and bites, in its salivary glands, it consists of an infective stage. That infective stage is called as a sporozoid, right? So that infective stage we call it as a sporozoid. This sporozoid enters into the bloodstream after the bite of the mosquito. So sporozoids enter the bloodstream after the bite of the mosquito. Then from the blood stream they will enter into the liver for the process of multiplication. Multiply ಆಗಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಯಾವುದು? Plasmodium stage. One of the Plasmodium stage is a sporozoid. ಆ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಅಂತ ಇರ್ತಾವೆ. ಸ್ಪೋರೋಜಾಯ್ಡ್, ಮೀರೋಜಾಯ್ಡ್, ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಟೋಮೀರೋಜಾಯ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ ಭಾಳಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಟೇಜಸ್ ಬರ್ತಾವೆ. That detail account we are going to study in the part of the NEET. And here we are studying according to the NCERT part. Okay. Now this sporozoid enters into the blood and then infects the liver. So these sporozoids enters blood and infects liver cells. That means they will enter into the liver and infection is caused. Then what will happen in the liver? In the liver it will multiply. Which one? The sporozoid stage will multiply. So multiplies in liver. Now this will multiply in liver. After multiplication, what happens? The liver cells will burst out to release this stage. Then next, liver cells release these parasites. Liver cells will burst and the liver cells releases the parasites. Now these parasites they will infect the RBCs. Then infects the RBCs. Now in the RBCs, this infective stage again it will multiply. After multiplication, the liver cells will burst out. Then again the parasites are released back. So infects the RBCs, then multiplies and bursts the RBCs, releasing a chemical called as hemozoin. Now look at the part here. Initially sporozoid enters into the blood, goes to the liver, infects the liver cells, multiplies in the liver cells will burst out. It will those infective stage is released into the blood. Then this infective stage will enter into the RBCs, multiplies in the RBCs, again RBCs will burst. ಯಾವಾಗ RBC burst ಆಗ್ತಾವ ಅವಾಗ ಈ RBC ಒಳಗಿಂದ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂಥ these parasites, some of them will infect other RBCs, few of them will form into male and female gametocytes. Male and female gametocytes ಆಗಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾವೆ in the blood and they will remain in the blood. Now burst RBCs releasing hemozoin. When the RBCs burst, hemozoin ಈ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ತಯಾರು ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾವೆ parasites. The hemozoin is released out. When the hemozoin is released, that hemozoin brings about chilling effect. ಅವಾಗ ಚಳಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗೈತೆ. ಯಾವಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಜ್ವರ ಬರ್ತಾವೆ, ಮಲೇರಿಯಾ ಬಂದಾಗ, ಜ್ವರ ಬಂದಾಗ ಏನು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಚಳಿ ಜ್ವರ ಯಾವಾಗ ಆಗ್ತಾವೆ, RBC ಹೊಡ್ಯಾಕತ್ತಾವಂತ, RBC ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಟು ಬಸ್ಟ್, ಅವಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಚಳಿ ಜ್ವರ ಬರ್ತಿರ್ತಾವೆ. ಅವಾಗ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ನಾವು RBC ಬಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಾಕತ್ತಾವಂತಂದು, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ hemozoin is released. Remember, hemozoin is responsible for what? Hemozoin is responsible for the chilling effect in the body, and that's why it is a symptom of malaria. So fever with chills. Okay, then what happens? Some of them infects RBCs. So some of them will infect RBCs, and some of them form gametocytes. Some of them form gametocytes. Gamete cells are called as gametocytes, and those gametocytes are nothing but they are male gametocytes and female gametocytes. Male gametocytes and female gametocytes are released, and they will be present in the blood. Our blood ಒಳಗಡೆ flow ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾವೆ. So with this process, the Plasmodium species completes its life cycle in man. This is the first host. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಇಂಟರ್ಮೀಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೋಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಯಾಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಮಾಸ್ಕಿಟೋ ಮತ್ತು in between these mosquito, as it releases the sporozoite, the intermediate host will be the man, because man is required for the formation of the gametes. When male and female gametes are formed, ಇವು ಎರಡೂ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿದಾಗ ಆಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಮೇಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ ಇಫ್ ದೇ ಗೆಟ್ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸ್ ಇನ್ ಅವರ್ ಬಾಡಿ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾಸ್ಕಿಟೋ ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತಿರ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿದಾಗ ಲೈಫ್ ಸೈಕಲ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಬಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಇಟ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ ಅಲ್ಕಲೈನ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಮ್ which is present in the gut of the mosquito. Mosquito intestinal region ಒಳಗಡೆ alkaline medium ಇರ್ತೈತಿ. It is a favorable medium for the fusion of these two gametes. Because of this thing, this Plasmodium species, it requires two hosts to complete its life cycle, right? So this is in man. Let's go to the mosquito. Okay, ಇದನ್ನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿದಾಗ there might be a question that will arise into your mind, that ಸ್ಪೋರೋಸೈಟ್ಸ್ ಎಂಟರ್ ಇಂಟು ದ ಬ್ಲಡ್ದಾಗ ಎಂಟರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತದ, ಇದು ಲಿವರ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಬ್ಲಡ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಮೊದಲಿಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಬ್ಲಡ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು ನೀವು. ಈ ಸ್ಪೋರೋಸೈಟ ಇದ್ರ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಸ್ಟೇಜಸ್ ಅದಾವೆ. ಈ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟೇಜಿಂದ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಹೋದಾಗ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಈಸ್ ಸ್ಪೋರೋಸಾಯ್ಡ್, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಮೀರೋಸಾಯ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಆ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಲಿವರ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ನಾಗ ಹೋಗೇನೆ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ಆಗಿ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಆ ಮೀರೋಸಾಯ್ಡ್ ಬರ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಲಿವರ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಬರ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಅವಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾತ್ರ RBC ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಸ್ಪೋರೋಸೈಟ್ಗೆ ಇರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ರೀಸನ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ they require different cells for the multiplication of their stages. Now when we go for the RBCs, liver ಒಳಗಡೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈ ಆಗ್ತಾವೆ, ಅವ್ರ ನಂಬರ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ಕೊಂತ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ. ಥೌಸಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ parasites will be produced in each of our cell. Then later on they will burst the cells, they will infect the RBCs. RBCs, it has a lot of stages, ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಅದಾವೆ. ಅಮ್ಯೂಬಾಯ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್, ಡಿಸ್ಕಾಯ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್, ಸಿಗ್ನೆಟ್ ರಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥವು ಬರ್ತಾವೆ. ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ ನೀಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಓಕೆ, ನಾವು ದಿಸ್ completes the life cycle of a Plasmodium in man. Now what happens in mosquito? Let's see it in the mosquito. So this detailed account is a little bit more important because the explanation will be asked for a short notes type of question. Explain the life cycle of a Plasmodium parasite or malarial parasite. ಆ ರೀತಿ ಕೇಳಿದಾಗ you have to write the answer. I am just giving you in a schematic way. With this schematic way you should explain this also. Okay, this is in man. Next, what happens in mosquito? So which is the infective stage in the man? It is the sporozoid. The sporozoids are ultimately formed into what? Male gametocyte and female gametocytes. Now next, how the life cycle will continue in this mosquito. Now when the mosquito comes and sucks the blood of an infected person, remember this, ಇದು ನೆನಪಿರಲಿ. ಈಗ ನನಗೆ ಮಲೇರಿಯಾ ಇಲ್ಲರಿ, ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಅನಾಫಿಲಸ್ ಮಾಸ್ಕಿಟೋ ಬಂದು ನನ್ನ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಸಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಈ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬರ್ತಾವ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಬೇಡ್ರಿ. ಇದು ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ, ಮಲೇರಿಯಾ ಇರುವಂಥ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ವೆನ್ ದ ಮಾಸ್ಕಿಟೋ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸಕ್ಸ್ ದ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಆನ್ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್, what will be present in the blood of the man? Gametocytes, male and female gametocytes. These two gametocytes enter into the gut or intestine of the mosquito after the blood meal. When the mosquito sucks the blood, then what will happen? So let's start with that part only. So here male and a female gametocytes, what will happen for them? Now they will enters the gut of mosquito. Then after that both will fuse. Fusion of male and female gamete is called as next process. Ade what? Fertilization. Fertilized egg is called as next stage, zygote. It forms into zygote. Now look at these stages. Illi enen aagtav nodri. Look at these stages here. It forms into the zygote. Now this zygote further it develops thousands of sporozoite. So this zygote it develops thousands of sporozoites. Then reaches and stored in salivary gland. Of the mosquito. Look at this. It reaches the salivary gland of the mosquito and they are stored. In storage ಆಗ್ತಾವು the sporozoites. So these sporozoites, they are stored in the salivary gland of a mosquito. Mosquito salivary gland ಒಳಗಡೆ store ಆಗ್ತಾವು. Then when this mosquito bites the human, look at this process. When this mosquito bites the human, the life cycle continues. ಈ cycle continue ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Look at the cycle. Sporozoite infective stage salivary gland ಒಳಗಡೆ ಬಂದಾಗ when it bites another human, then infective stage is sporozoite. Again this process continues. ಈ process ಎಲ್ಲಿ end ಆಗ್ತತಿ? man ಒಳಗಡೆ with male and female gametocyte ಮುಗಿತು. Then after that look at this. Again here this process continues. Right. So this is the story of a malarial parasite. Malarial parasite ಹೆಂಗೆ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. And in this process just look at this part. So here we are studying it in man and here we are studying it in the mosquito. So let me explain you once again. Okay, now listen it carefully. In man, when the female Anopheles mosquito comes and bites, it injects an infective stage. Remember, it is an objective question, which is the infective stage of Plasmodium parasite. It is a what? Sporozoite. Okay, now listen the story. Story allida reality na, but in this reality the mosquito and a man should be there. When the female Anopheles mosquito comes and bites the human, it will inject an infective stage of Plasmodium, which is called as sporozoite. This sporozoite enters the blood and then that sporozoite infects the liver cells. In the liver cells, it will multiply and many thousands of this sporozoite stage might be formed. Later on, the liver cells will burst out, releasing the parasite. Then these released parasites will infect the RBCs and they will enter into the RBCs and they will multiply in the RBCs. The RBCs will rupture out, releasing a chemical called as hemozoin. That hemozoin is responsible for chilling effect in the body. Few of these infective stage will infect the RBCs and the process will continue in this way, and few of them will form the gametocytes, where the smaller one forms the male gamete and larger one forms the female gamete, where we call them as male gametocyte and female gametocyte. Now, thus completing life cycle in man. Then put the heading as in mosquitoes. When the female anopheles mosquito, ಅಲ್ಲಿ female anopheles mosquitoನ ಬರಬೇಕು, ಬೇರೆ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಮಾಸ್ಕಿಟೋಸ್ ಬಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಆಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, when the female anopheles mosquito comes and sucks the blood of an infected person, look at the term infected person ಅಂತ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಕತ್ತೀವಿ. When the female anopheles mosquito comes and sucks the blood of the humans, then male and female gametocytes, they will enter into the gut intestine of the mosquito. As the alkaline medium of the gut of the mosquito is favorable for the fusion of male and female gametes, the process is called as fertilization. So, fertilization process takes place in the gut of the mosquito. These fertilized egg, after that it converts into zygote. Zygote undergoes the process of cleavage or a rapid division to form into thousands of cells to form sporozoites. These sporozoites from the gut, they gets absorbed and reaches the salivary gland, and they are stored in the salivary gland of the mosquito. When this mosquito bites another person, this story continues. Okay, so this is regarding the life cycle of malarial parasite Plasmodium. Understood? And this can be asked for a short note type of question. Idu kele keltirtaru, right? Hemozoin is released after bursting of which cells and keltara, liver cells or RBCs? It is RBCs, remember this one. Okay, so this is regarding the part. So that's why malaria is the explanation ಒಳಗಡೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ large ಇರುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪಾನ್ಷನ್ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಇರುವಂಥದ್ದು based on the life cycle. This is most important because it will be asked, right? So with this we will complete the part of the malaria disease, and we'll move on to the next disease. The next one is amoebiasis. Let's go to the next one, amoebiasis. Amoebiasis is also called as amoebic dysentery based on its symptom. Let's look at the cause and symptoms. Okay, so next one is amoebiasis. Let's go to the cause. Amoebiasis is caused by again a protozoan parasite. So it is caused by protozoan parasite, and its name is Entamoeba histolytica. This is the protozoan parasite, and that protozoan parasite is Entamoeba histolytica. Amoeba ಒಂದೇ ಎಂಟ್ ಇರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. Its name is Entamoeba histolytica. This is a strain of protozoan parasite. Now, this Entamoeba histolytica, how it is spread from one person to another person, as we call it as a communicable disease, as we also call it as infectious disease, how it can be spread from one person to another person. So here comes a mode of transmission. Transmission it is mainly spread through contaminated food and water. It is mainly spread by contaminated food and water. So contaminated food with this protozoan parasite and water. Mainly the agents for this are houseflies. Okay, so houseflies are the agents that carries these what disease, right? Entamoeba histolytica, contaminated food and water, right? and apart from that it might be through the contamination of fruits and vegetables also, right? Now the fruits and vegetables that we buy like carrots, ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ನಾಗ ನಾವು ಹೋದಾಗ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಯಾರೆಟ್ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ತೊಗೋಬೇಕಾದಾಗ ಭಾಳ ಜನ ಟೇಸ್ಟ್ ಹೌ ಇಸ್ ದ ಟೇಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀರಿ. ಚಲೋ ಅದ ಅಂತ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಸ್ವೀಟ್ ಟೇಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಐತೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೋ. ನೀವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ, ವಿದೌಟ್ ವಾಷಿಂಗ್ ಇಟ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಟೇಕ್ ದ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಟ್ ತೊಗೊಳ್ತೀರಿ, ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಕೈಲಿ ಒರೆಸ್ತೀರಿ, ತಿಂದುಬಿಡ್ತೀರಿ. ಈಗ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ಲಿ ಕೋವಿಡ್ದಿಂದ ಅವೇರ್ನೆಸ್ ಅದ, ಈಗ ಯಾರೂ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಮೆನಿ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಡೂ ಇಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಮೆನಿ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಲೈಕ್ ನಾವು ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಸಲ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಹೋದಾಗ. ಓಕೆ, ಬಟ್ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದಟ್ ಅವೇರ್ನೆಸ್. ಅದಿತ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ವಿ ಆರ್ ದ ಸಫರರ್ಸ್. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಸಲ ನಮ್ಮ ನೆಗ್ಲಿಜೆನ್ಸಿಂದ ಡಿಸೀಸ್ ಬರ್ತೈತಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಡಿಸೀಸ್ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಹುಡುಕಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರೋದು ಬೇರೆ. ಈ ಕೋವಿಡ್ ಏನದಲ್ಲ, ಕೋವಿಡ್ ನಮಗೆ ಬರೋಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ನಾವು ಹುಡುಕಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅದನ್ನ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ ಬರುವಂಗೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಿಕಾಷನ್ ಮೇಜರ್ಸ್ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಇಫ್ ಯು ಟೇಕ್ ಪ್ರಿಕಾಷನ್ ಮೇಜರ್ಸ್, ನೋ ಡಿಸೀಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕಮ್ ಟು ಅಸ್, ರೈಟ್? ಹಾಗಿದ್ದ ಮಾತ್ರಕ್ಕೆ ಡಿಸೀಸ್ ನಮಗೆ ಬರಲೇಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ಏನಿಲ್ಲ. ಬರ್ತಿರ್ತಾವೆ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಕಾಮನ್ನಾಗಿ ಬರುವಂಥವು, ಬಟ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಕ್ಯೂರ್ಡ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೇನ್ಲಿ ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ಕಂಟಾಮಿನೇಟೆಡ್ ಫುಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವಾಟರ್. ದೆನ್ suppose if this Entamoeba histolytica enters into the body of humans, then what is the major effect that it is caused? So let us use a term. Housefly is a vector that spreads the disease. Then we will move on to the symptoms. The symptoms of this, mainly it includes constipation, okay, so constipation is the irregular bowel movements of the large intestine. Then abdominal pain, and cramps. So abdominal pain along with the cramp will be there. Then stools with excess mucus, and blood stains. Okay, so all these are the various, your blood clots are there. All these are the various symptoms. So what are the symptoms? Constipation, involuntary bowel movement of large intestine where it leads to hardening of the fecal matter. The next severity of the constipation is the piles. Constipation ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋದ್ರೆ piles ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತದ. Abdominal pain, ಹೊಟ್ಟೆ ನೋವು ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. And cramps ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟಿಗೆ ಹೊಟ್ಟೆ ನೋವು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಹೊಟ್ಟೆ ಮುರಿದಂಗೆ ಆಗ್ತದ. This is the symptom of a dysentery, and hence amoebiasis is also called as a amoebic dysentery. That's why the name. Right, amoebic dysentery. Normal diarrhea is different. Loose motion ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. It is due to infection of certain bacteria, Shigella species ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. But this is little bit more dangerous. Amoebiasis ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ dangerous ಆಗ್ತದೆ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಡಯೋರಿಯಾಕ್ಕಿಂತನೂ. Here treatment is at most needed. Okay, now here based on the symptom, amoebiasis is also called as a amoebic dysentery antanu kariti now. Now symptoms: constipation, abdominal pain with cramps, stools means the fecal matter with excess mucus. Okay, fluidic fecal matter ant kariti. Then blood clots means due to over infection of the intestine there might be certain blood clots also, blood droplets release agirbodu in the stools. Okay, so these are the main symptoms. Then how it has to be prevented? Prevention measure is avoid contaminated intake of contaminated food and water. Then next one is keep the foodstuffs closed. Okay, this is one thing. And whenever you bring the vegetables and fruits from the market, wash it properly, then use it. Okay, if it is of boiled one, that is better, but all you cannot boil. You cannot take the banana and boil it. Okay, banana boil ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆಯೂ ಬೀಳಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಕವರಿಂಗ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. You can just open and eat. But how about the apples and all those things? So wash them properly and thoroughly. Okay, Then what is the treatment? Treatment is given, antibiotics are given to treat the disease, and finally the disease is completely treated. If it is left untreated, it may lead to the intestinal perforations and even it may kill the person, because the person will become more anemic agada. Due to dysentery, the person becomes more anemic, he loses lot of water. So intake of water has to be increased, otherwise the drips are given. ಸಲೈನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಸಲೈನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಬಾಡಿದಾಗ ಫ್ಲೂಯಿಡ್ಸ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರ್ತಾವೆ, ನೀವು ನೀರು ಕುಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸದಕ್ಕೆ ಹಂಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಿರ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಲಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಫ್ಲೂಯಿಡ್ ಈಸ್ ದೇರ್. ಸೊ ಟು ರೀಕವರ್ ದಿಸ್, ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಡಿಹೈಡ್ರೇಷನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದೇರ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಬಾಡಿ. ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಡಿಹೈಡ್ರೇಷನ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ರೀಹೈಡ್ರೇಟ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿತ್ ORS ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ, ಓರಲ್ ರೀಹೈಡ್ರೇಷನ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್. ORS ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಸಲೈನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ರೀಸನ್ ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಬಾಡಿ ಶುಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಡಿಹೈಡ್ರೇಟೆಡ್, ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್ ದೇರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪಲ್ ಆರ್ಗನ್ ಡಿಸ್ಫಂಕ್ಷನಿಂಗ್, right? So that's why fluid has to be flown in the body, so proper fluid quantity should be there in the body also, right? So this is regarding the part of the disease amoebiasis. So next we'll move on to the one more disease is ascariasis. In the ascariasis we have almost the same thing with little bit different symptoms. So ascariasis it is caused by helminthic worm. It is caused by the helminthic worm, and that helminthic worm is Ascaris lumbricoides. Ascaris lumbricoids. It belongs to Nematoda, phylum Nematelmenthes or phylum Ascalmenthes ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. Nematoda, it is a nematodal worm, or we call it as helminthic. Round worms ಗೆ helminthic worms ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. Okay, so here it is a helminthic worm mainly caused by Ascaris lumbricoids. Based on this parasite only we have named ascariasis. The disease that is caused due to Ascaris is called as ascariasis. The disease which is caused by entamoeba is amoebiasis, right? Then mode of transmission is same, exactly same. It is through contaminated food and water, along with that fruits and vegetables. Fruits and vegetables. Then again same, vector is same. Houseflies are the major carriers of this. Yakantandre eggs of these ascaris, due to unhygienic practice, as they are present in the fecal matter, from them the insects may transmit the disease. Okay, so that's why unwashed fruits and vegetables, if we are eating it raw, like the fruit salads ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಸೌತೆಕಾಯಿ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಪ್ರಾಪರಾಗಿ ವಾಶ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಹಂಗೆ ತಿಂದೀವಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ಎಗ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್ಯಾರಿಸ್ ಇದು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಎಂಟರ್. ಜನರಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಅಫೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ದ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್ಸ್, ಅಡಲ್ಟ್ಸ್ಗಿಂತನೂ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಅನ್ಹೈಜಿನಿಕ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಇತ್ತಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಅನ್ಹೈಜಿನಿಕ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಕೀಪಿಂಗ್ ದ ಹೋಮ್ ಕ್ಲೀನ್, ದೆನ್ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಬಿದ್ದಿರುವಂಥ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಆಟಿಕೆಗಳು ಇರ್ತಾವೆ, ಅವನ್ನ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಬಾಯಿ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹಾಕೋತಿರ್ತಾವೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳು. ಸೊ if that utensils are infected, then ultimately they will suffer with this disease. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಜಂತುಗಳು ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Okay, then transmission is same, right? Transmission through contaminated food and water, fruits, vegetables, these are the major vectors. Then what are the symptoms for this? So if we look at the symptoms of the ascaris, the symptoms, it includes internal bleeding, will be there, fever will be there. Now look at the symptoms here. So there might be the internal bleeding, there might be fever. Then apart from this fever, we have other sorts also. So internal bleeding, fever, along with that the other parts is anemia. Anemic condition will be there. Then apart from this, blockage of intestinal passage. intestinal passage. Now here roundworms, what these roundworms will do, when they enter into our intestine, they get blocked due to their development, they also grow. Now due to that there might be internal bleeding, they may infect the intestine. As a result, it may lead to infection and bleeding also. Then fever will be there. Any sort of infection that happens to our body, it shows the symptoms of fever, anemia, weakness. Whatever the food you ingest, it is ingested, that digested food is ingested by this worm. ನೀವು ತಿಂದಿರುವಂಥ ಆಹಾರ ಡೈಜೆಷನ್ ಆದ ನಂತರ ಆ ಡೈಜೆಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಫುಡ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಬದಲಿ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಸೈಟ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊತ ಹೋಗ್ತೈತಿ, ರೌಂಡ್ ವರ್ಮ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಹಾಕೊಂತ ಹೋಗ್ತಾವೆ, ಸೈಜ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಹಾಕೊಂತ ಹೋಗ್ತಾವೆ, ಬೆಳೀತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾವೆ. ದೆನ್ ವೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಇನ್ ಸೈಜ್, ಇಟ್ ಲೀಡ್ಸ್ ಟು blockage of the intestinal passage. So intestinal passage gets blocked. Then what will happen? It leads to lot of problems. Anemic problem ಇರ್ತದ, intestinal blockage ಆಗೋದ್ರಿಂದ then lot of weakness is caused. It may lead to death. It is not so severe that it causes death, but this parasite has to be removed. And how to remove it? One is antibiotic, next one is the anti-ascarial syrups are given. Through these syrups the organism can be killed, the helminthic worm can be killed. Okay, so this is regarding the part. So what we say here is a precaution is better than prevention. So with this we'll end up the class today, and we'll start a new class on the other day with other sorts of diseases. Thank you.